Hello guys, JP from JP's Pet Nation. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. In today's top 10 list, we're going to be looking at 10 of the biggest zoos in the United Kingdom. There are currently more than 300 licensed zoos in operation across the United Kingdom. This includes zoos, aquariums, wildlife parks and safari parks, just to name some. On today's top 10 list, we're taking a look at 10 of the biggest zoos and wildlife parks out there. To be classed as a big zoo or wildlife park, we're looking at the amount of animals they have in their collection and how many acres they have. Let's kick off today's list with number 10 being Chester Zoo. Chester Zoo is one of the largest and most viewed zoos in the United Kingdom. The zoo opened in 1931. They are one of the largest zoos in the world with over 35,000 animals and more than 500 species of wild animals at the zoo on their 400-acre piece of land. There's every type of animal you can think about there, from reptiles, mammals and bears to animals that are on the verge of extinction like lions, tigers and rhinos. Chesterfield Zoo has been successful over the years in breeding a number of critically endangered animals, like the black rhino. They also play a big part in international breeding programs for this species. Not only do they work close with the black rhinos, but they also do a lot of other conservation work to prevent a lot of animals from going extinct, like lions, tigers, etc. in the wild. They also work close with other zoos around the world in Europe to help protect the wildlife and their habitat. Chester Zoo had over 2 million visitors in a single year in 2019, being the record of the most visitors they've had through their gate. Number 9 on the list is London Zoo. London Zoo is not only one of the world's biggest zoos, it's also one of the world's oldest zoos, opening up in 1828. It took them 19 years before they opened up the doors to the public in 1847. London Zoo is home to more than 17,000 animals across the 38 acres of land, with over 750 species there. They're also one of the only zoos in the UK to have the world's largest venomous snake, the king cobra, on show. Like all the zoos on this list, London Zoo do a lot of conservation work and rescuing and protecting the animals in the wild, which is amazing to see. Not only do London Zoo breed endangered species with the aim to release them into the wild, they also do a lot of work in the UK. They're in fact working closely to protecting the native inverts in the UK, like the semi-aquatic fen raft spider, which is listed vulnerable to extinction on the IUCN Red List. They also work on a lot of other inverts as well that are endangered to extinction in the UK as well, and there's a lot of work they do. Number 8 on the list, I've got to go to CWP. CWP has one of the largest reptile collections in the UK. They also have a nice collection of venomous snakes like puff adders, rattlesnakes and vipers. They're also one of the only 2 zoos in the UK to own pit vipers in their collection, to have 4 venomous snakes with 25 reptile enclosures. CWP are located in Oxford, United Kingdom, and have around about 260 different species of animals there. The park is located on 160 acres of land, and they have a lot of zoo animals like lions, rhinos, etc. for you to check out. CWP does a lot of conservation work out there as well, and they're one of the best reptile places to visit, especially if you're into your reptiles and your venomous animals. They've got a nice collection of venomous reptiles. Number 7 on the list, I've got to go to Edinburgh Zoo. Edinburgh Zoo makes number 7 on this list and is the only Scottish zoo to make this list. Edinburgh Zoo is located in Scotland, United Kingdom. The zoo opened way back in July of 1913. What is set on 82 acres land. They have over 8,000 visitors a year at Edinburgh Zoo. It's one of the biggest zoos out there. Edinburgh Zoo is home to over 1,000 rare and beautiful animals from around the world. They're not one of the largest animal collectors, but they have 1,000 beautiful ones. They also are the only zoo in the United Kingdom to own and breed giant pandas. It's also the only zoo in Britain to house Queensland's koalas as well, and there is only 1,600 wild pandas left in the wild, and Edinburgh Zoo is working with other zoos around the world to breed and protect the giant pandas from going extinct. Their breeding program is very important to the population, and the work they do with the giant pandas is crucial to their existence. Number 6 on the list has got to be one of my all-time favourite places to go, and that's Crocodiles of the World. Crocodiles of the World is the only crocodile zoo in the UK, so they have to make this list, right? They have over 19 species of crocodile, making them the largest collection of crocodiles in the United Kingdom. They also work with other range of animals from lizards, snakes, etc. And they work with rare and endangered animals like croc monitors and Komodo dragons. They do a lot of breeding for crocodilians and the reptiles, and they're one of the most important conservation places in the United Kingdom for crocodiles. Crocodiles, the world's main aim is conservation of crocodiles and to get the populations back up in the wild. They have a lot of success over the years with breeding, and they are part of the European Zoo breeding programme through EAZA. They're also responsible for breeding some of the most endangered crocodiles in the world, like the Chinese alligator, the Cuban crocodile, and the short-snouted crocodile. Over the past 10 years, they've been open. They only opened 10 years ago. They opened way back in 2009, 2010 time, and their work is amazing. And the work they do for the crocodiles is providing them a safer and a better future. Number 5 on the list has got to go to Longleat Safari. In 1966, Longleat became the first location outside Africa to open a drive-through safari. They have over 9,000 acres of land, making them one of the biggest zoos in the UK. Longleat have about 500 animals for you to see. Longleat are also the only zoo in the UK to have the southern koalas. Yes, they are different to the Queensland ones. They've got 1 male and 3 females, and they are trying to breed them to get the numbers back up in the wild. In 2020, Longleat Safari Park announced that they have donated £50,000 to support the conservation of koalas, which were affected by the bushfires in Australia in early 2020. Over 3 billion animals, including 1/3 of the entire koala population in New South Wales, fell victim to the fire. Because of the fire and the impact it's had, Longleat and other zoos all around the world are doing their very best to get the koalas' numbers back up and breeding in captivity to release them back into the wild as well. Number 4 on the list, we're going to be heading over to Wales, and we're going to be looking at one of the only Welsh zoos that are on this list, and that is the Welsh Mountain Zoo. There's over 140 species and about 750 animals in their 60 enclosures. They are a smaller zoo on this list with only 37 acres of land, but because they're the only Welsh zoo on this list, I had to add them to the list. The zoo first opened 58 years ago, way back in 1963. They are part of some of the most important breeding programs in the world, from the snow leopards to the red pandas to the rhinos to the lions to other animals. They work closely with zoos around the world to breed these extraordinary animals and to get them back in the wild and to release them. They also have California sea lions there, chimpanzees, snow leopards, tigers, red squirrels, just to name a handful. So there's pretty much a lot of animals for you guys to see. If you live in Wales or looking for a place to take your kids on holiday, WMZ is the zoo for you for sure. Alright guys, let's get to number 3 on the list, and that's got to go to number 3 on the list has got to go to the Yorkshire Wildlife Park. Yorkshire Wildlife Park is home to 450 animals and has 70 different species there, and they're in the middle of a 150 acres plot of land. The Yorkshire Park is located in Doncaster, United Kingdom, and it's also the largest polar bear centre outside of Canada after the arrival of 3 new cubs and their mother this year. They also have 4 males already living at the park, which means they have 8 polar bears all in total. These are also the only place in the UK where you can see polar bears, and they do a lot of work with the Project Polar to educate people and to do research into polar bears, and they're the leading zoo in this. The Project Polar has become an international centre for research and educational work, and the park is doing an amazing job to help with the extinction of these animals and climate change. All the animals at this place was kept in massive enclosures, guys, and it really is one of the best zoos out there for sure. Number 2 on the list has got to go to the West Midland Safari Park. West Midland Safari Park has about 600 animals and 167 species of animals. Many of them are endangered. West Midland Safari Park opened way back in 1973 on 200 acres plot of land. They have the largest group of white lions in the UK. You can also get to meet some of the most endangered animals in the world, like the fastest mammal on the earth, the cheetah, or the 1,800 kilogram hippopotamus. They also have the largest walk through Lima Walk exhibit, and it was the first park in the United Kingdom to have an African Big Five game animals on show. Number 1 on the list, I've got to go to Bristol Zoo. Bristol Zoo is not the largest zoo on this list, but it doesn't stop them making the list. Remember, it is a city zoo, what means it's going to be a lot smaller than other zoos. But there is about 7,000 animals here and 450 individual species, so they are quite a busy zoo. They really do have an incredible collection of animals, including red pandas, gorillas and lions. Bristol Zoo makes a strong contender to be one of the best city zoos in England. If you want to see us make a city zoo list, let me know in the comments down below and I will do my best. They've also got a gorgeous reptile room, an invert room, as well as a massive aquarium. They also have a large sea life aquarium and penguin aquarium as well, which is amazing. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Like I say, this list is 10 of the best zoos in the UK. I've not put them in any particular order. All these are the best, and like I say, it's not in a particular order, but all of them are well worth checking out. Please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, click one of the videos what's going to be flying around after this, and I shall see you next Monday, 2 PM UK time. Let me know in the comments down below something about your beautiful faces, and also if you liked today's list and what your list would be. Bye bye.